What's up, guys? I'm on my phone, so I don't know how the footage is going to be, but today we're working on Justin from Good of the Land's CanAm Commander. His transmission's out, so what we're doing is we're actually pulling it out. I took the plastic off, he took the seat off already, so I'm going to get this gas tank off. It looks like there's one bolt right here. And I don't know if there's going to be any hidden boats here. It might just be that one, and then it kind of just, we'll just have to see how as it goes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove that one boat, and then we'll go on to disconnecting some other stuff over here. Alright, I'm trying to get a SD card from my GoPro. I brought my GoPro to his shop, but I forgot my SD card. So anyway, guys, I got the boat removed, and it looks like it freed it. Had to remove the gas cap and the hose here, and it's got those factory clamps here, and I just cut it off, and I'm gonna put a screw clamp back in there when I go to put it back on there. Hopefully we'll get a GoPro here set up here in a second, and I could show y'all more video of taking it all apart. I think our next thing is we're gonna unhook this linkage right here, and I don't think we're gonna have to unhook the bracket, and we're just gonna lift this cable up and set it to the side. Oh, and this vent hose, instead of taking it off up there, I took it off down here, I think, so we don't have to deal with that. So anyway, let me get the tank out. Stand corrected, guys. There is one more boat. It is up here towards the front, right here. So there is one more boat. I figured they should be at least two, but I couldn't find it a minute ago, so let me get that off, and then we can get the tank out. Guys, still didn't get the gas tank out. So what I discovered is it's easier. I don't know if you have to, but it looks easier to get past that, the inlet for the fuel. This is to take this cover off. There's a few T27 torque boats here. This one had a nut behind it. This one did not. And then up here, you had this plate that went up here, and it screwed through the back right there. And those was T20s. So now we can pull this off. We should be able to pull this off. Hopefully I ain't making y'all too roller coaster sick. There we go. Like that. There is wires hooked here, but they fell out. Okay. Now we should be able to just like tilt that up to get it past that lip and then pull it out. And be careful because it's got gas in it still. Hopefully it ain't a lot. Alright, let me get the gas tank out and we'll be back. Alright, there is a 13mm nut here. I'm going to take that off, pop that out, and then loosen this up here. And then this is just a keyhole design, so just slip up and pull through. So I don't have to take the bracket off, I don't believe. So we're going to do that. Again, I'm sorry about this. I'm recording from my phone. I left my SD card at home, so hopefully part 2 of this, when I get to that point, I'll have my GoPro. I always leave something behind every time. Alright, back to work. Alright, we got the GoPro. So we're going to remove this. We're going to unhook this battery here. If I have enough room in here to turn this. And I'm just going to remove the negative side, and it should be okay. Alright, we are, don't want it touching back there. Put that battery back in there, or go back in there. I always lose the battery boats, that's why I put that back in there. Alright, we're good there. We're gonna have to take this seat off, which I think you just pull this and then tilt it, and then right here. Let me put you all up on Justin's device. Be my tripod. Haha. seats out. So Justin asked to see if we can get the trans loose from the engine without taking the engine out. I don't know if we can on this, but we can always give it a good old try. So we got all that unhooked over there. I'm gonna go ahead and hook that wire over there. Because it kind of hooks into the back of the trans. Oh wait, no, this one. It's this one. All right, I removed those wires. I also labeled them: back of trans, side of trans, fuel. And I'll do the same if I have to pull the engine off and have to remove more of the wiring harness. It'll just make it faster to go for the reinstall. So I think we'll get on the other side and take off the primary drive and stuff and see. Again, it's a good chance that we can't just pull the trans. We're actually going to have to pull it all out of as assembly. So I don't know yet, but we're going to give it a good old try. Anything's worth a try sometimes. So this is going to be a little bit fun, guys. I can get an impact there, but I can't get an impact there. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit an impact there. So we're going to do the best we can and try to pop that off. Let's see what we can do. You gotta remember there's a spring behind that. Oh. If I can maneuver this around there. Spring. I'm wondering if I can catch something here without breaking that aluminum. I'm worried about breaking the aluminum, but... Alright, I don't have all my special tools I have at the house, so it didn't break it, so I took a screwdriver. Actually, it's one of those ones that come with chainsaws, and put it over there, and now it's broke loose. Once we get this off, we can take this plate off, and we can see what we're working with to get the trans loose, if it's even possible to get loose just it. Ooh, watch out for that spring, it's under tension, guys. Alright, so looks like we just got a spring in this piece right here. So that spring will line up with this hole right here, this dip right here. Now we get to finish taking off this one, maybe. All right. We are at a standstill because he lost the puller. So he's going to reorder a puller, and then we'll get the rest of that primary drive off. And we can see after we get under that plate if the transmission can be separated. Don't know yet. Might have to be taken out as a full assembly, then separate it. But until then, anyway, I'll see you all in a few days. Alright, we're back, and we got the tool. Get this sun gun slide in here, and we can see what we're looking at once we take the this should just keep turning in there, and then eventually I guess I would hit it with the ratchet and it'll pull it right out. There we go. or not. I think we might need the impact. So we can do with the impact. Alright guys. While the other side, we ended up having to soak the primary in some penetrating fluid, and hopefully it'll pop off, because usually you put the puller in there and they just pop right off. So instead, I know we said we was going to try to pull just that transmission, but the more research and more research and more research I do into this, there's no possible way. So we're not going to waste our time anymore. We're just going to pull it out as one assembly. So we got to pull all these wires off here. So good thing about having it on video, I taped some of them, but having it on video, I should be able to tell where all my wires are going back into pretty easy. So let's get started. That off. I'll remove this one, single blue wire right here, top of the stator cover. Remove this one right here. Put that out of the way. It's a triangle one. It's most of these wires is only going to go in one spot. This one right here, I don't know if we're gonna have to unplug it. If it's just a sensor, we unplug right here, or we have to go back there. I'll look at that in a second. So let's go to the other side. I think I'm gonna see what we gotta do. It's light where I want it. Now to trace that wire in it. So that wire around front, we don't have to unhook from the straighter. It is right here. So we just got to figure out how it unplugs. Looks like it just kind of wire unhooks up here. There we go. Pull them all back through here. Got one hook that hooks up here, but we'll deal with that here shortly. Just trying to get all the ones hooked to the engine. The one for the stator, the actual stator, looks like it goes up in here more. Alright guys, I think so what we need to do now, I got a wire, just a wire here, but we need to get to the let me unhook this one, this overdrive one. No, okay, I'll just remove it. So I guess what we need to do now is we need to remove this, but to remove this, we gotta remove this, it looks like, because I don't think we can get back there without this, without doing it. So we're gonna have to remove these plastic pieces, this air box, and this. Alright guys, that bar is gone. I got that loosened. So what I did, I didn't fully take this off, because to take that off, but I had to take all this off right here. So I was able to loosen it and force it out some and get those two bolts back there, and then the two bolts right there. And so now we're going to get this air box out of the way. The air box here. That up. Go ahead and loosen both of them up just in case one comes out easier than the other. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. That's out of the way. Just had to do the old wiggle wiggle. I'm gonna leave that hooked up. So we need to know this side, the back side is blue on the injectors. There's a sensor right here, probably some kind of oil core system. And this side over here is already unhooked. That's the one that is this color. Red. So red and purple front, blue, light blue and dark blue back. Got it? Okay, we got it. Now the ejectors are out. You got this oil sensor here next to this back ejector. Give me a second, I'll get that done. So no other video showed this, but where that stator location is, where that wire runs for that stator, to unhook it, is under your driver's side. Right here you got your regulator, and the back side of that, right there you'll see all the yellow. That would be your stator, and you got to unhook all these zip ties and run it back through. Fun, fun, fun. Got a light again. Anyway, guys, stator wire is out. So you gotta go take this part right here off, and then it goes, that wire runs all the way through here, and you have to loosen this. I didn't take this fully off, but I loosened it to get it out. It's a pain, poor design, but that's what it is. I also took the ground wire off. It goes right here. So anyway, I think we'll go to the other side, get the starter bolt off, and then we can start pulling the header off, and that'll be putting us a good chunk into finish off pulling this engine off. So let's get to it. Alright, I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. The starter's right here between the transmission and the engine. It's just a 10mm, and if you got a ratcheting wrench, this is where a ratcheting wrench is awesome. Alright, that's off, or that's loose, and I would recommend putting the nut back on after you pull the cable. Like I talked about earlier, it makes things easier. So let's get on to the headers. Alright, we're going to try to get these springs right here off the header pipe, the rear header pipe. We're going to pull those back and knock that one out that way. See if we can grab on with two with a pair of pliers. Pull. Same with the other side. Alright, to save some time on this video, we got, oh, you probably can't see, hold on. There we go. You got a 13 on each side. Just going to use a ratchet or a wrench to get it off, and that'll just pop right out. So let me get these two nuts off, and we'll slide this front header out. Alright, got that loosened up, or unbolted. It still won't come off. I think once we loosen the engine, they both will pop off. I removed the lower radiator hose, drained the fluid, did the upper one, and then a vent hose. I think we're at the point we're going to try to get that, we're going to go back to that primary clutch and see if we can get that primary clutch off with some tricks that I've been researching on, and hopefully that'll pop off, and then we'll just remove the motor mounts, and then I think we should be ready to pop this engine loose at that point. So,
alright,
so
guys,
we'll
it's gonna get messy
because Justin don't have a grease gun here on this property. He's got it at a job site. So anyway, we're gonna pack this full of grease, and I got the puller, and I got it with some tape on there. We're gonna stick it in there, and hopefully that'll do the job. Couldn't find no gloves either, so nice and do it. Things nice and oh, good thing he has some paper towels. Try to get as much grease in that tube as possible, and it's gonna cause like a, it's gonna cause it to pop in there. All right, maybe that's enough. We're gonna give it a try with that. Let me switch up here to a aired impact. Well, y'all didn't get to see it on camera, but after a few dozen times of trying, she finally popped right off. This clutch is really, really dirty. You can see why it didn't want to pop off. There's a lot of rust here. Let me get this loose, and we take a look. And there y'all have it. If you look at that rust on that shaft and stuff. That's why it didn't want to come out. So, anyway, I guess we remove this cover. Looks like all 10s. Let's see what we can do. Look at that. We got it down to the engine. Those clutches ain't always that hard to get off. That one is just wanting to be a pain. Anyway, looks like we're down to getting these mount bolts mounted. It looks like there's some here, there's one there, there's a couple right there, there's some right there, and from there the engine is loose, and that's probably when I'll need Justin's help to help me maneuver it around some. Alright, so let's get work. There's 10mm bolt right here. Let me see, you see me? It's like a U-bar right there. It goes down very front of the engine. It's just a little 10mm head bolt. I just popped that off real quick with the impact. And we got some bigger ones right here, but I think it's going to be in the way. This is going to be in the way, so I think we're going to have to go ahead and pop this off. That. And then do this. This is like the shifter side on the other side, so it's just a keyhole design. Pop her through. Here we go. Get these two boats out. Yep, just those two. Alright, there's only one boat over here, so I didn't bring yellow over. It was just right here. You don't remember that U one on the other side, just one little 10mm boat? Well, there was one on the front side of the cylinder head here. So that's done. All we gotta do now is take those two main mount boats off. And alright guys, I went ahead and got those two boats out. So the engine should be free other than the drive shaft. We gotta get the drive shaft loose, but we'll do that tomorrow when we pull the engine out. So what we're gonna try to do to make it easier, we're gonna try to take this roof off. Just when I thought I was ready to pull this engine, ended up having to, gotta hold it up, but this air box needed to come out more, but you can't fully take it out because the way it is put in there without having to take all this out right here. You got nuts right here, or bolts right here, but nuts on the side, and so you'd have to take all this off to do that. It's bull. I should name this video "Top Reasons Not to Own a Can-Am." After working on this one, tell you what. So holding that up, that should be good. Got the header loose back there, the header loose up there for the exhaust. I think we're ready to pull it now. Man, what a pain. So the drive shaft didn't slide off like someone said in another engine removal video. So you got two 13mm bolts on your yokes on both sides. We can't get them to move fully out of the way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen the rear diff, the gearbox, and maybe hopefully that'll give us room here. And maybe if we can get that engine broke loose there, we can break that one loose there. So there's a skid plate under there, a bunch of 10mm head bolts. It's gotta come off, and then we can get to the mountain boats to that. All right, the skid plate's off, and the mountain of dirt is out of there. So you got two bolts right here. It looks like either 13mm or 14mm head, and it's just two bolts that runs all the way through with two nuts. We're gonna remove those, and hopefully that'll give us enough play to finish removing the rear drive shaft. Hopefully we don't have to do it to the front too, but we might have to, so we'll see how that goes. All right, we're back at the top here. Back at the top, and there's two right there too. So bottom one's a little dirty and it was a little bit pain, but these look cleaner, so maybe they'll ease up. We'll do that, push that back, and maybe hopefully have enough room to get the drive shaft out. Well, about 8 hours later, maybe less, maybe more. I've been on it off and on for a couple weeks in between jobs, but it is finally out of there. Had to work the it's a bane. I worked the straps a little bit and then used the pry bar, and each their own. Have to come up with your own methods, I guess, on when it comes to that pulling it. It's such a tight fit in there. Another reason not to buy a Can-Am, guys. Anyway, Really, this video should have been called Reasons Not to Buy a Can-Am, because the reason we're pulling the transmission, the engine out anyway, is the transmission, it's got low hours. It might be a little dirty, but it has low hours and the trans is already out on it. It seems to be a common problem. So anyway, got that engine pulled. It's gonna be a long video, guys, I know that. So if you stayed with us this long through the video, I appreciate it. I try to give y'all the most detailed video on this possible. There's not a whole lot of details on this on YouTube. Like, no one has showed a lot, and I'm hoping I showed more than they did, but who knows. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all learned something about this. He's rebuilding the transmission, probably on his channel. Check out Good to the Land. It'll be on his channel when he does the transmission. I think he's doing a video on it. Don't know when. But anyway, engine's out. Now we can go rest and until we have to go put it back together. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys for checking out Gears and Wheels. Hope to see more of y'all. See y'all on the next one.